What's going on? This is KJ Kearney, Black Food Fridays. I'm trying my hand at a reaction video. And of course, the first video I react to is going to be one of my own. The trailer for a web series that I'm hosting on behalf of PBS went live today. And I'd already seen it, but it was good to put it out there for the people so other people can see it. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and watch the video, right?
Listen, hold on. I'm not talking about waving flags and eagles soaring
Okay.
overhead. I mean,
So obviously it started 3 seconds in. I don't know why I did that, so I'm gonna scrub it back. Okay, now let's watch it together.
what does it mean to be a good citizen? Hold on. I'm not talking about waving flags and eagles soaring overhead.
Mm,
I mean, when you think about the place that you live and the people that surround you, where do you fit in? What role do you play in your community? And how do you do that well? I'm KJ Kearney, writer, foodie, and creator of the James Beard nominated Black Food Fridays. Together, we're going to explore how being a good citizen can be a lot more enjoyable than you might think. Because we all care about something.
Okay, before I go any further,
I'm KJ Kearney.
that part, this part, okay? PBS will not allow me to lie to y'all. PBS is so meticulous about everything. If I lied about what color the sky was, we would have to reshoot things. They wouldn't allow it to go forward in the script if it wasn't true. Okay, let's continue.
Writer, foodie, and creator of the James Beard nominated Black Food Fridays.
Mhm.
Together, we're going to explore how being a good citizen can be a lot more enjoyable than you might think. Because we all care about something. For me, it's food. For you, it might be art or music or sports, but hidden inside those hobbies, those passions, those relationships you already love are the skills to be civically engaged. Join me on a journey to discover how eating at local restaurants powered the civil rights movement, how online pop music fandoms are fighting for disability justice, how the future of community safety is created on the dance floor. Let's find out how our favorite communities, from pitmasters to sneakerheads, are using their skills to citizen better.
All right. I mean, that's the video. So, first thing is I'm immensely proud of being able to be a part of this project. I'm thankful for everybody who's a part of it. Xavier Blake, who's no longer at SCETV, he's kind of the first person that got me in the door. I'm sorry for using acronyms. SCETV stands for South Carolina Education Television. That is basically the PBS of South Carolina. So, a gentleman named Xavier Blake reached out to me very early in the Black Food Fridays process, and he was like, "Yo, you seem very talented. We don't have anything for you, but would you just be open to having a conversation?" And so I was. So Xavier and I met, and then I met a young lady named Tabitha, who's in charge of like the digital stuff at or streaming stuff at SCETV. And then I never heard from them again. And then one day I got an email from Tabitha out of the blue, and she was like, PBS is doing these grants. They're giving away grants for people who, and when I say people, for like stations like theirs who have a show idea, you can present the show idea. If they like it, they'll give you a grant. All right. So what you're actually seeing here, and I'll play it again just without the sound, so we have something else going on the screen. So what you're watching here is probably the fourth version of one of the ideals that I presented. So they presented like three ideas. I came to the table with three ideas. We put them all together in one package, and then we sent that off to PBS. And then I didn't hear anything for months. And to be fair, I kind of forgot about it. I forgot all about the whole PBS thing. I figured we didn't get it, so no harm, no foul. And then one day Tabitha hits me up and was like, "Yo, one of our ideas got picked. Specifically, it was one of your ideas, and if you want to move forward, let's move forward." Now, the idea that got picked up was actually, so we're still doing part of what I wanted to do, but not everything. So the idea that I presented that got picked up and then got modified into what we have before us was basically sneakers and civics, right? Like it was an ideal of using sneaker culture as a way to explain or demystify the political process, right? So, what's an example? So, something like you don't have money, or you don't think you have money to donate to a campaign for a candidate you believe in, but you did buy 6 pairs of Jordans this year. I mean, on average, your Jordan's gonna cost you 200 depending on your shoe size. So that means you spent over $1,000 in sneakers. You can take that money, you could take half of that money. Bro, you could take 10% of that money and give it to a candidate that you believed in, right? To help them run their campaign, or you can spread that money out um, to multiple campaigns, excuse me. And so that was the idea that was pitched for me, sent there. They picked up the idea. Cool. So we start working on the show, like a little treatment and all this other stuff, like a lot of pre work. I mean, PBS is insane with the pre work. They're very detailed. Insane is not the right word. I want to be sure I'm clear. They're just very detailed with all their pre work. So the woman who was a producer at the time, Leslie, was writing everything up. And then, like, right before we got ready to start, she got a new job and then she left. So that put everything on the back burner. So then we didn't hear anything. And then months go by, and then I get an email from some dude named Grant. And Grant is like, "Hey, we're about to pick up the show. I'm new at SCETV. I'm going to be in charge of this, your project." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't know who Grant is, but I just want to get this show on the road. And so, long story short, a bunch of back and forth. The show got changed from sneakers and civics to what you have now, which is basically um just using different communities. So we're not focused anymore just on the sneaker community like I intended it to be. It is, we're going to talk about how different types of communities can become politically active. In a way, I think this is a better format, right? Because everybody doesn't identify with sneaker culture, but everybody's a part of something, some kind of community. Or most people are a part of some type of community. So the new way that we're going about it is highlighting different communities and then showing how those communities can then be civically engaged. Now, we sign up for 8 web series, or eight episodes in the web series. Um, we've only basically filmed one and a half. And like I said, it was supposed to come out in December. Things happen. But anyway, so the ideal is not exactly what I wanted, but I'm still proud of what we created. As it relates to the trailer, that was filmed in Colombia in SCETV. So with me with the black hat, that's a Stussy Scully, and it doesn't roll well like this one. This is a different brand. So the Stussy one doesn't roll so well. So that's why it it's doing that little uh pop top situation, which I absolutely hate. I hate that pop top looking thing. I really do. I like to roll my joints up, sort of like at a BZ, if you're familiar with Oz. But anyway, so that was done with teleprompter, camera, sound guy, lights. There's a screen you can see right there on the side. There's a screen right to the right side of my face. If you're facing me, the right side of my face. Um, that was actually blank when we were filming, but then through the power of CGI, I guess, or special effects, I don't know what the right one is. Then they put all that stuff in there. And then I love this, right? So it leads you right into, from pit masters to sneakerheads. Boom. Okay. So this shoe, I did not want to buy them at first because it looked very clunky. They're New Balance 960s, which is a relatively new model. That colorway is a special colorway designed by James Whitaker of the Whitaker Group. James Whitaker is a black man who owns a bunch of very successful sneaker shops, Alma Maniere, APB, Social Status, and I think Prosper. I think he's a partner in Prosper as well. But anyway, that shoe was only released at the APB stores. So APB is like their college town, nice sneakers, stuff you're not finding in the mall, but not a whole lot of super neck breaking things. A level up is social status, right? And then the highest end is Almam and Yer. I mean, they're selling like Balenciaga sneakers and like I don't know. I'm not really into luxury brands, but a whole bunch of luxury brands. That's like at the Almam and Yer. Where I live at in Charleston, we have an APB store. So I got those from the APB store. And again, I thought originally that the show would be a lot more sneaker focused. So I got really excited that I was going to be able to buy a bunch of sneakers and da 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 da. But that just didn't work out. I mean, they're still going to show sneakers because it's a big part of who I am. But it's not. Again, the show is not focusing on sneakers like it originally was planned on being. I really don't like the hat poppy thing. I Every time I see myself with that, I'm like, oh God, bro. Like I should at least tried. Maybe like one more fold of that's Camille. That is the daughter of Kevin, who has since passed away, but community activist in Columbia, South Carolina, who then started Railroad Barbecue. That's his daughter, Camille, who has never, or at least when we filmed at that time in her life, she had never had African food. And I was trying to convince her to let me take her to get Nigerian food, but I don't think she wanted to really try the African food. So I left that alone. A very wonderful person. And the inside of that place is outstanding. You'll get to see that in the show. How they have that place decorated, just all the paraphernalia is so dope. I can't wait for y'all to see that on the 16th. All right. This is Sean Mendez. Sean Mendez is the owner and head chef at Gilly's Seafood in Charleston, South Carolina, James Island to be specific, right on Folly Road. He does like Gullah cuisine, Creole fare, Southern classics. His whole restaurant is basically based around soul food and seafood. He and his wife, excellent people. They let us film in their restaurant, and you'll get to learn a little bit more about him in the show as well. This is Nate Brown. Nate Brown, my dog Nate Brown and his wife Chastity, they run one of the best bakeries in all of the Charleston metro area, especially in North Charleston, where I live at, where their restaurant or excuse me, their bakery is located. It's called Daddy's Girl Bakery. They make a bunch of delicious desserts, but my favorite by far, they don't make it often, or two things. They have a chewy pound cake. And for those of you who are not from Charleston, you never had a chewy, it's like a blondie on steroids. It's the most amazing thing. And I don't know anyone outside of the Gullah Geechee Heritage Corridor that sells or eats chewies, but they take that chewy and they put it in a pound cake. Lord, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me, for allowing me to eat those chewies, Lord, because they are delicious. And then, Lord, when they put them in the pound cake, Lord, mm, something on the inside, starts a stirring within me. It feels like fire shut up in my bones every time I take a bite. So they do that, delicious. And then every so often, they will make an oatmeal chocolate chip cookie. I think wholly underrated combination. Oatmeal and chocolate chip in a cookie needs to be on more menus. They don't do it often. I guess a lot of people don't like it besides me. But whatever, it's dope. Oh, and they also sell vanilla ice cream with chewy pieces in it, which is also life affirming. But anyway, shout out to my dog Nate. And we're working on a proclamation together for the city of North Charleston. So y'all stay tuned to the channel. You'll learn more about that later. Um, some of the cupcakes that he serves me in that freaking ugly pop-up hat situation again. I actually lost that hat in DC, I believe. Oh, all right. So this is my friend Nicole. Her professional name is Sharon Burgess. She is a realtor and she owns her own brokerage in Somerville, South Carolina. There's some preview pictures that they sent to me that I've been posting on the Black Food Fridays Instagram account, and I did not know until today that she hated the picture that she's in. So do me a favor, go to Black Food Fridays Instagram account, and I need you to find the post. It's a carousel post with like 7, 8 pictures in it. The first two pictures are me, and I'm wearing this outfit, so you should know when you see it, and then like scroll near the end, and you'll see the picture with me and Nicole. She doesn't like it, and that's why I want you to go look at it. Okay, go look at it. I love you, Nicole. I really do. This is my dog Jai. Jai is he's in the in the tech world, but he is not a tech guy per se. He works for a company that builds very nice iPhone, just Apple accessories in general. So like he's the dude who goes to China and makes sure that the factory is doing it right. But in addition to doing that, he is also a food writer. So if you want to follow him, shout out to Jai. Go to Jai Eats, and Jai is JAIEATS. Jai Eats. I focus on black people stuff. He just focuses on food all over South Carolina. And so, if you're interested in following a foodie who has a better grip on what's going on in Charleston from a food scene, you might want to follow him. I focus on Black people all over the world. He kind of focuses on Charleston. So, he's a good person to follow if you come to Charleston. You want some recommendations on where to eat. Good dude. Oh, and that is the front of the International African American Museum, which is a brand new museum that's been in the works for over 20 years. I used to be a consultant back in the day, a community engagement consultant for them. And then I got fired unceremoniously. Well, I guess I didn't get fired. My contract was not renewed. So, because I was a consultant. So, yeah, I didn't get fired. But it felt like I was fired because we worked very close as a family. So, even though I didn't work for them, like I went to the office a lot, things that if I was a consultant now I wouldn't be doing. Like I was just way too friendly. It was just great though. It was felt like a family. Anyway, I my contract was not renewed way before they even dig the dirt on this bad boy. But um I'm just happy to say I had a small part in it. And on top of that, I'm a community organizer now. I brought the first educational group to the museum. It was in May of last year, or May of last year. We took about 500 people from our communities and our schools, and we brought them to the museum before the museum opened, so they got a sneak peek. So I was very proud to be a part of that. And I still visit the museum. It's great. I know people who work there. Dr. Tanya Matthews is the CEO. She's awesome. Shout out to Jessica Boyd and Jeffrey and Brandon and Kiki, and all the other people who work there who I know, whose names slip my mind at the moment. Let me go back. Like I told you, this is behind the museum, facing the water on Gadsden's Wharf. So let me tell you what's important about Gadsden's Wharf. Hella enslaved brothers and sisters from the continent were took their first steps in this country in Charleston, South Carolina, a disproportionate amount. I want to say like maybe like 40%. These numbers I don't know off the top of my head, like with any accuracy, but I think it's like 40% of all the enslaved Africans that were brought over to this country forcibly took their first steps here in Charleston. I always think of Charleston as like the foundation of what we consider African Americans. And even if my numbers are just slightly off, 40%, 30% of all enslaved Africans taking their first steps here. That's a lot of people. Even if my numbers are a little off, I still think we have a case to say that we are the foundation of African Americans in this country. Well, of course it'd be in this country because it's African Americans. So yeah, that's it, man. That's actually pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I am happy that this is coming out. And thank y'all for watching, or the 7 of you who decide to watch this reaction video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And I hope you're also watching on the PBS Voices YouTube channel. I'm very excited to see what doors this opens. I really am. I'm really excited, and just glad that it's finally coming out. So, anyway, thank y'all for allowing me to do this reaction video. Allowing me, you can't stop me, baby. It's my camera, it's my mic. I'm doing my thing. But no, seriously, thank y'all for watching. If you like this reaction video and you want more, then let me know, and we'll do more of this. And then I'll actually pay for StreamYard, or ask StreamYard to give me some money. So Anyway, whatever. If they're gonna have their logo up, they might as well pay me. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, whatever. I'm rambling. Love y'all. Have a good night.